Country superstar Jelly Roll is now suffering from a severe illness, but despite that he has been begging for forgiveness. So what is wrong with the Grammy nominee? And what does he want or need to be forgiven for? Keep reading for more details. It has been a great few years for Jelly Roll. He renewed his vows with his wife, Bunny XO, and they have been actively trying to have a baby. That has been a struggle, given they have been doing it via IVF, but they are making it work. He has also been on a world tour, and is having the time of his life, especially as he has dropped an immense amount of weight. Jelly is down a few hundred pounds and looks nothing like himself. He has been so dedicated to getting into shape for his future children, and the transformation has been incredible. Despite taking great care of himself, unfortunately, the 40-year-old has fallen extremely ill. Admittedly, he has done all he could to try to feel better and get himself in good form. Regardless of his efforts, they were not good enough, and he was forced to cancel his show in Auckland, New Zealand. Jelly Roll made it abundantly clear that he has barely missed any shows in his entire career, so this is a huge deal and letdown. Although he wanted to perform, he couldn't, and he begged for fans' forgiveness. They likely understood why he could not go on and wouldn't hold it against him. In 2024, Jelly Roll was set to perform in New York. However, he canceled the show on short notice due to a performance on SNL. He was given the chance to be the musical guest for the season 50 premiere and could not turn it down. That rubbed many concertgoers the wrong way, given that the Saturday evening show was rescheduled to a Monday evening. Many could not attend and felt that he cheated them out of a long-awaited experience. Jelly Roll still has more shows to come, as his next stop is November 14, 2025, in Mexico City. He will do 2 nights there and then head to the Grand Ole Opry in early December 2025. On New Year's Eve, he will take the stage in Las Vegas and then take a break until May 2026. Then Jelly will be back on the road, headed to New Mexico. Hopefully, he will be on the mend very soon and back in much better shape. Furthermore, may the tour organizers reschedule his Auckland show sooner rather than later to appease all of the fans. The stage was silent except for the faint hum of a distant crowd, waiting in anticipation. But inside the dimly lit room, Jelly Roll sat alone, his face pale and lined with exhaustion. For years he had danced along the edge of fame, his raw lyrics and gritty persona capturing the hearts of millions. Yet beneath the bravado and tattoos, there was a man fighting an unseen battle, one that threatened to silence his voice forever. It started weeks ago. A relentless fatigue, a persistent pain that refused to fade. At first, he shrugged it off, chalking it up to stress, late nights, and a life lived on the edge. But the symptoms worsened. His body weakened, and strange symptoms appeared. Fainting spells, difficulty breathing, and a fog that clouded his mind. The doctors finally delivered the devastating news. A severe, life-threatening illness that could end his career, his freedom, even his life. The diagnosis hit him like a freight train. The man who had survived the darkest streets, who had poured his soul into music that spoke of pain, redemption, and forgiveness, now faced his own mortality. The illness was aggressive, unrelenting. Treatment was brutal: chemotherapy, hospital stays, days in bed staring at sterile ceilings. Jelly Roll found himself stripped of his usual defenses, vulnerable in ways he had never been before. As his condition worsened, memories flooded his mind. His past mistakes, the people he had let down, the fights he had started, and the forgiveness he had never asked for. The pain was physical, but the guilt was emotional. He recalled nights of reckless living, moments of anger, and the times he had pushed loved ones away. Now, lying in that hospital bed, he realized how much he needed forgiveness, not just from others, but from himself. In those quiet, lonely hours, Jelly Roll began to write. Not lyrics this time, but a letter, an honest, raw plea for redemption. He poured out his heart on paper, pouring out regrets, apologies, and hopes for a second chance. It was a letter to his family, to his fans, and most importantly to himself. To everyone I've hurt, to those I pushed away, I am sorry, he wrote. I've lived my life loud, reckless, and sometimes selfish. I took for granted the love that was right in front of me. I never thought I'd face this. My body failing, my time running out. I want you to know that I never meant to hurt anyone. I was just trying to survive. The words felt heavy, yet freeing. For the first time in a long time, Jelly Roll felt vulnerable enough to admit that he wasn't invincible. That beneath the tattoos and the tough exterior, he was just a man fighting to make amends. His health continued to decline, and each day became a battle. His voice, once a powerful instrument of expression, grew weaker. Fans and friends visited him, some with tears, others with words of encouragement. But Jelly Roll's focus remained on his own inner struggle. He knew his time was limited, and he wanted to make it right. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow through the hospital window, Jelly Roll summoned his strength for one last act of humility. He reached out to those he had wronged, family members, old friends, even critics who had written him off. With trembling hands, he sent messages and made calls, asking for forgiveness, offering apologies. It was a difficult, humbling process, but one that brought him peace. He also made a public statement, not through the usual bravado, but from his heart. He addressed his fans directly, acknowledging his struggles and expressing gratitude for their unwavering support. "I've faced my demons head-on," he said in his message. "And I want you to know that I'm sorry for the pain I caused. I hope you can forgive me. Life's too short to hold on to grudges. I may be fighting for my life, but I'm also fighting for redemption." The response was overwhelming. Fans shared stories of how Jelly Roll's music had helped them through their darkest times, how his honesty and resilience inspired them to forgive their own wrongdoings. Their words touched him deeply, giving him a renewed sense of purpose amid his suffering. Despite the severity of his illness, Jelly Roll refused to give up entirely. He found strength in the love of his family, the support of his fans, and the hope that forgiveness could heal even the deepest wounds. His journey became a testament to the power of humility and the importance of making peace with oneself. In his final days, Jelly Roll's focus was on making amends, sharing his story, expressing his remorse, and cherishing every moment with those he loved. His music, once raw and rebellious, now carried a new message, one of hope, forgiveness, and redemption. When the end finally came, it was peaceful. Jelly Roll left behind not just a legacy of gritty lyrics and heartfelt melodies, but also a story of facing one's darkest fears and seeking forgiveness with courage and grace. His battle had been fierce, but in the end, Jelly Roll's true victory was in his humility, showing that even in suffering, there is a path to forgiveness, and that sometimes the greatest strength lies in admitting our faults and asking for redemption.